I want to tell you this is going to be so much fun today because we are going to be speaking to somebody who was in my acting class at Neighborhood Playhouse. Her name is Louise Sorel, the most beautiful girl in the acting class, and I was always so jealous because I did, oh my God. So what I would like you to hear is how she got to the Neighborhood Playhouse. We know how I got, or maybe you don't, but I'm going to tell you later, but how she got to the Neighborhood Playhouse and what her background was and how this all worked. And this is Louise Sorel.
Good morning.
Morning.
It is morning, isn't it?
Yeah. How did you get there?
Oh, well, I'm from Beverly Hills, California.
Really?
And I was in a theater department at Los Angeles City College. And I had to get out of my house for various reasons, which I've written about. And I thought, I saw something about the Neighborhood Playhouse in New York, and of course the theater in New York. So I told my parents that I wanted to go there, and they said, and how do you plan to get there? Mind you, we had a few dollars. My father was the producer. So I said, well, I'll earn the money for the fare on the plane. So I took a job at the Vic Tanny gym office and filed papers. And I made enough money at that time for a flight that may have been $150 at the time, you know, way back 100 years ago. And I made my airfare, and then I thought, wait a minute, how do I get into the Neighborhood Playhouse? So I thought there was an audition at UCLA. And at that time I was a mime as well as doing theater. I was doing professional mime. So I did a mime to audition to speak at the Neighborhood Playhouse.
This is so wonderful.
And they gave me a scholarship on a mime. I'll never understand that. So I got the airfare because I worked for it. Then I got to New York and went to the Neighborhood Playhouse. And that was because I got this mime scholarship. I've never understood it.
It's amazing because, you know, I got to the Neighborhood Playhouse because I was told I had no talent at Carnegie Tech as an actress. And I said, I'm not going to, this is ridiculous. I'm not going back there as a director. And so I went to my mother. I said, I'm not going back to that place. And she said, call Elizabeth on the phone. And Elizabeth knew Mrs. Morgenthau. You remember Mrs. Morgenthau?
Oh, God.
And if Mrs. Morgenthau walked in the room, we were all supposed to get up no matter what we were doing, remember?
Yes.
Sandy Meisner left the school because of that. But go on, so tell.
But also when Martha Graham would arrive with Louis Horst, it was like terrifying. And it was like the Queen of England had arrived. And I remember in dance class, she used to go around and hit the men in their abdomens and say, what do you have down there? Oh my God. I mean, it was an amazing experience.
It really was.
2 years of, it was, I loved it.
I did too. I did too. I remember there was another thing where we had to walk into, somebody's sleeping in a room supposedly. And we had to walk in and steal something. Remember, it was the improvisation,
props and things like that.
Yeah. And it was an improvisation.
Yeah.
And if the person walked out, you were running down the stairs into the street, screaming. It was so funny.
Oh my! There are so many. This is an odd memory. David Pressman.
Yes.
Jumping ahead a little bit, I was on a show called I was on it for about a year. One Life to Live.
You found your daughter not about to be raped, but having sex with Mitch Lawrence and loving every minute of it.
Oddly enough, he was directing there. And, you know, the soaps, they move very quickly. You don't have any time. Nobody talks about anything. But of course, I'm coming in with all my preparation from the Neighborhood Playhouse and all of that work. And I asked him, I said something, oh, Mr. Preston, what happened about I want to do this and that. And he said, just do it. I said, what about all the props you told us about and all the details we were supposed? He said, just stop it. Just do it.
Do it.
And I thought, oh my God, it was so sad to me. All of that was out the window. I mean, all he wanted to do was get it done because he really didn't like working there for various reasons, I won't say. And all of a sudden, all of that was gone.
Well, he was directing one of the ones that I only went on as under 5. I never did as much as you did. And the nurse said to me, this was the line I had to respond to, Miss Jones, make sure when they make sure they nail down the windows, but don't let it seem obvious. Well, I was hysterical. I started to laugh. I said, nailing down the windows and not seeming it obvious. And he looked at me like, don't make jokes about this because, people have spent a long time writing. Now, you were on that soap for a long time?
Just 1 year I quit.
Oh.
Because before I won't go into some of the details, I was on Santa Barbara at the time.
What a pathetic, noble creature you are. I want to get out of this house as quickly as possible.
And this particular, somebody wanted me to come in to do that show, One Life, and I said, well, I hope there's humor, because I can't work without humor. And he said, oh, there'll be humor. Well, there was. And after a year, for other reasons as well, I said, I can't do this. I can't do this. So I quit.
Let me ask you, when you left the Neighborhood Playhouse, you went back to California and immediately worked?
Oh, no. I went from Neighborhood Playhouse to Broadway.
In what?
Take Her, She's Mine. With
Oh, so you did that one. You did Take Her, She's Mine. Did you play the guitar?
No, that was my dear friend Susan Shiva, Susan Stein Shiva. She played the guitar in it. I was the sort of Betty Davis character.
Oh.
Now, that was that I did one summer stock, I think, and then I got this amazing agent at William Morris. My heart, just an amazing woman, and she said, "Well, I don't know what you can do, but I'm sending you up." She had these big glasses bigger than her face. Big agent at William Morris.
Yeah.
And she sent me to read for Hal Prince and George Abbott.
Right away.
Right away. But I was terrified, as you can imagine. And it was at the Broadway Theater, and I snuck a look from a side door to watch the actors on stage as they were auditioning, and they were all following the stage manager around. And I thought, there's got to be a way to grab this. So I got backstage, and I said, they called my name, and I said, I'm not ready yet. And they said, you're not ready yet? Mr. Abbott, she's not ready yet. Horrifying. So I went up some
And
flight of
George
stairs.
Abbott, too. You
Yes.
didn't say.
Oh, no.
No, go on.
So I go up the stairs and I think, what can I do to grab this? I don't know what I was thinking. I was 21. I really didn't know what I was doing. I came down and said, I'm ready. She's ready, Mr. Abbott, with his tone of voice. And Ruth Mitchell, who was a very famous, was Hal Prince's stage manager, was reading with everybody. So what I did, I couldn't believe I had the guts. I ran out in front of her. So I made her follow me around the stage. It wasn't a long scene. I got cut off in the middle of it. It's thank you so much. And I said, could I just read a little? No. And I left. I was like horrified. They called me back another week later, and I did the same thing again. Thank you very much. And I left, and I thought, I got it.
Oh my God.
And I got it by calling, I'll just have to tell you this. I had no money. I was living with a crazy, obsessive Italian person. And we had no money, no phone. I had a few dimes. I had very little money. And there, at the corner of 90th and Broadway was a phone booth. And it was June, or it was very hot. And I put a dime, I had a dime to call my actor's phone or whatever we had.
Yeah. Oh, I
And
remember
they said,
that.
call Miss Rabb at William Morris. And I put the dime in, and I called thinking she's going to say, well, next time, whatever. And I said, Phyllis? She said, where are you? I said, I'm in a phone booth. She said, are you standing up? I said, yes. She said, you got the part.
Oh, thank you, God.
What? I slid down to the ground. I cannot tell you. It was astonishing for me. No expectations.
Well, the thing that's wonderful, and this is what I think we all can learn, is to think, how can I get this?
Yeah.
Instead of being such a darling person and do what everybody else tells you to do.
Yeah.
How can I get this?
Well, then there are other ways of getting it that I wouldn't go for. But I don't know what gave me the guts. I give my mother a lot of credit for, she had been called the new Garbo. But she never did it because she met my father, and that destroyed her entire life. But anyway, so she had to give birth to two of us. But when I started doing some theater in high school, and my teacher was throwing me on the stage doing John Millington Sing and Medea, and I didn't know I was doing, I would come home and say, I can't do this. And my mother said, yes, you can, darling. She was quite grand.
I
And she
remember
would
her. I
give
met
me-
her once, but go
Yeah.
on.
And she would give me little things to do, like if it was from, God, I can't think of it. So I can't think, it was a wonderful Italian woman in rose tattoo.
Oh, yes.
And they get, not only did I get the ingenue, but I got Serafina.
You got that part?
He gave this to me, and I can't do this.
Who?
And my mother said, yes, you can.
Who
And
gave
she
it to you? Oh, in the high school.
High school.
Yeah.
So she said, spread your legs, lower your voice. And I did, and something came out of me that I had no idea. So she used to give me these little things, and it just stayed in me. And she kept saying, yes, you can, yes, you can.
That's the most wonderful thing, and I say this every time. Every time that I talk on these videos, when a mother or a father or anybody who is bringing you up says, I believe in you, you can do anything, you're beautiful, you're talented, and you can do anything. The kid ends up being able to do anything. And that has happened in my sister's children, that she said that to them, and they're extraordinary people, and they can do anything. But growing up in my family with these famous people, you had to be as brilliant as they were, and they were already famous by the time. When you were a kid, they were famous. How could you be a little kid and then be that kind of famous? There's no way.
Yeah.
So it took a long time for me to learn that. But at any rate, we're off me now. Let's go over the rest of it. So after I forget the name of that play.
Which play?
The play you just got.
Take Her, She's Mine?
Take Her, She's Mine.
Yeah.
Right. And then after that, how long were you in that?
Well, what happened is about 8 months into it, it ran for a year.
Mm-hmm.
I was sent up to meet some British producers and a director named Guy Hamilton, who directed a lot of big movies. And they handed me a script, and I thought I'd have to read. They didn't read me. I just said, well, what? He said, no, just take it home and look at it. I was on stage, backstage at Take Her, She's Mine. Ruth Mitchell, who was the stage manager, said, Louise, Sorel, it was intermission. Please come downstairs.
Uh-oh.
And through the back door of the Biltmore Theater came 3 men who I'd met before at this hotel. And they said, we'll see you overseas. I didn't even know. I didn't know.
You didn't know who they
I
were?
didn't read for it. It was the play I'd been sent up to meet this Guy Hamilton and Anthony Perry, I think, was the producer. And they didn't say anything to me then. They just said, take the script home. I thought I'd go back and read for them. I never did. And the next thing I know, they're backstage at the Biltmore, because I told them I was doing the play. And they came back in intermission and just reached a hand out and said, we'll see you overseas.
That's what Mr. Pinto did with me. It was very exciting, but go on.
Yes, well,
That's what happens, and you just go,
yeah,
well, of course.
It doesn't happen anymore, but it did.
Oh,
Not
well.
like that.
And then what was the film?
It was called The Party's Over with Oliver Reed.
Anything else, my lady?
Drop dead.
Right.
Oh my
It
God.
scared the hell out of me.
I would imagine so.
And things that I didn't know about, which was I fall off a balcony and then I'm nude and there are men. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't know that I had to do that. So they said, darling, take off your clothes. And I said, what? And they were like, it's a party. So there were like 30, 40 people in this particular
God.
room. And finally they gave me pasties and a bikini. And the funniest damn thing happened because I became friends with this guy afterwards, one of the Brit actors. It was very quiet. They said, quiet on the set. I'm lying there in a deep hysteria because I didn't expect this. And this voice says at the end of my foot something, getting to know you, getting to know all about you. And this dead silence, well, it just, everybody collapsed. It was hilarious. The Brits are it.
Yeah, what can you do?
God, fabulous.
So you did that film?
I did that film, and at the same time, I know I'm sounding, but I had a pilot with Woody Allen to come back to, and a play with Arthur Penn.
Oh my God! And this was
And I didn't realize how amazing it was. I just thought, oh, you know, you go to work. That's what we do. And I look back, I think, oh my God, what luck. It was just...
because, you know, that was very, I remember saying to Sandy that I wanted to be in Mother Courage. And he said to me, you're not going to do anything for 10 years because you're a character actress. Oh, okay, but he was right.
Thank you so
I
much.
didn't start really working for 10 years. I mean, I did little things like in summer stock where you do 10 shows, 10 weeks or something.
Yeah.
But I didn't do what you were doing, and I think that must have been very exciting and wonderful to be able to. What did you do with Arthur Penn?
A play called, oh God, there's so many stories. Lorenzo, Jack Richardson, who was the elite playwright at the time, and Bobby Drivus was in it, and we were brother and sister, and Carmen Matthews was my mother, and Alfred, the singer, what's his name? Alfred Drake was my father. And then Fritz Weaver was a leader of a war, this is hilarious. They were war people. We were in the forest, traveling actors, and we run into each other. So it's the soldiers and the art and war. And my then-to-be husband, I didn't know at the time, Herbie Edelman.
Herb was your husband?
Yes, my first husband.
Oh,
The
I
most
had
wonderful
no
man in the world.
idea. I did not know that.
And he had no lines in his play, but he created his character was Pombo. And he created, because he was creative, a Pombo character who grunted because he had no lines. So Fritz Weaver says, we're with the acting company traveling. Carmen Matthews, Bobby Drivus, myself, and Alfred Drake. And Fritz Weaver has the line, take the Virgin, ? Take the Virgin. And Herbie goes, grunts. And Bobby Drivus under his breath says, fuck off. And Carmen hears this and she's gone. She's just gone. She can't keep herself together. The notes from Arthur Penn are, I'm not sensing any tension on the stage. We were completely
Hysterical.
We opened in Boston, almost closed there.
Yeah.
And Elliot, what's his name?
Elliot Norton.
Norton said not nice things. And we get to New York, and all the women came to see it because they thought Alfred was going to sing.
If I stand starry-eyed, that's a danger in paradise.
And he never
didn't.
sang
So
at
in
all.
intermission, in the daytime matinees, you could see the lights in the back of the theater as they exited the theater.
Oh my
In the intermission,
God.
because he didn't sing. And the play was just, no. We lasted 5 days or something. My opening night flowers were still alive.
I know, that's what happened with me and when we did, with Claire Bloom, we did The Turn of the Screw.
Oh, yes.
And I got the most gorgeous flowers, and the next day we had our closing notice, and 7 days later we closed, but my little it looked like a funeral parlor after that.
God.
It was so awful. But you know, those are the things. And
They
then
are.
did you you went someplace else after that?
Well, then I did the pilot for Woody Allen.
What was that?
It was called The Laugh Makers, with Davy Burns
Oh,
and Michael J. Pollard. Talk about crazy
what a
people.
cuckoos.
Oh my God.
What a cuckoo class that must
Well,
be.
the network looked at it because it was, before they knew who Woody was, really. He was at the Bonsoir or something. And they didn't understand the humor. They just thought it was nuts.
And look who they cast. I mean, Davy Burns and
Davy
Michael
Burns,
Pollard.
Michael Pollard. And a lot of other and Louise Lasser was in it.
Oh, Louise.
Because she was with Woody.
Oh, that's the same thing. I mean, all of them. Louise was in our class, wasn't she? Yes, she was. No,
she?
she was at the
No.
Musical Theater Academy. She was in the Musical Theater Academy, and I remember she was going with Woody at that time.
Yeah.
And I think, it was the weirdest. Anyway, she was a gifted lady, but
Yes,
she was as crazy as.
Oh, but I mean, what a wonderful memory, all these creative people, it's just like such a gift to be around that,
Yeah, fun, crazy people. Yeah, it's very interesting because Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you hear strange sounds,
It's the
it's
cutest
not
puppy
us,
on the
it's
planet.
our puppy who is snoring away. And you have to turn her head
So
in another position so she stops snoring. You know, I think it's because they push their faces in.
Mm-hmm. She's
and
got that.
That thing. Now, okay, we've gotten you
Next?
to, we've gotten you to Woody Allen,
Woody.
and then after that,
Oh, well,
this
The
is an
order of
incredible
things.
career. You know, I didn't know
you
any
know,
of
I think about it like it's somebody else, but it is. When I look at my credits, I wrote a piece called Thelma Ritter's Dead, I'm Not.
film what?
Thelma Ritter's Dead, I'm Not.
Oh.
I look at it, I think, who the hell? I should be dead. But I'm very grateful when I look back, and I don't remember the order of things after that. I ended up, was it with play with Charles Boyer that we did in London, and then we came back. I auditioned here, and then I went to London, and we came back here. Man and Boy by Terence Rattigan.
Oh.
And I was playing that while Herbie was doing Barefoot with Redford across the street.
Uh-huh.
So we met at baseball games in Central Park, and anyway, we met again because he had been in that ridiculous thing going,
Yeah.
Pombo. And then all of a sudden we met, I won't go into the whole thing, but I wrote about it, Kennedy's death.
Oh dear.
And I was on stage with Boyer. And we didn't go dark because we couldn't. And I was shaking and like this. And Boyer, I was on stage with him, and he took my hand. He held it and he looked at me with his incredible eyes and kept me from falling apart on stage. That's when I was doing that play, and Herbie was in Barefoot. We married, and then he went on the road with Love, Mary Siskel's play.
Yeah. That was,
Tom Bosley, and I started ending up doing a lot of Hollywood TV stuff that happened through the William Morris office and this wonderful agent that I had. It's just sort of a lot of stuff, a lot of history, and
So we weren't with him that much, weren't with.
well, yeah, I mean I traveled with him on the road when he was doing Love part of the time. Then I would fly out and do a show, and then we'd meet up, and then finally we both ended up in LA. And of course he worked a lot because
Great character, man.
he's golden, and Golden Girls, which he's on now, all the time.
We'll tell you what's wrong with us if you tell us what's wrong with you.
He's on the Gold. He plays Stan. They're all gone,
Yeah.
but he was
yeah.
Stan on the Golden Girls, and he was just wonderful.
Oh,
Played B. Arthur's ex-husband.
what happened to him?
He died at 62 from emphysema.
That's so sad.
Yeah, very sad, very sad.
Were
Anyway.
you were still with him?
No, I then married Ken Howard.
Oh! Excuse me for saying I should not have yelled.
No,
Ladies and gentlemen, I should not have
that's why I
yelled.
said I should be dead.
It's, I mean, Ken Howard was beauty incarnate. He was, I guess that he was perfectly castable by everybody. Was he drinking then?
Yeah, I didn't realize how serious it was
Yeah.
after we split, because I couldn't contend, and he left, and I didn't realize how serious it was.
Yeah.
And then I thought, why am I blaming myself? He really had a problem.
Yeah.
Which, luckily, he got through a lot, including being president of SAG.
Yeah, amazing.
With that,
But he, I think, had stopped then, because when I kind of worked with him at whatever that college was, he was drinking then, but I heard that he had stopped, and somebody must have gotten a hold of him and said, you can't do this.
Yeah, I think he did, finally. He went through 3 marriages.
Oh.
The third one, I think, was the final kind of like, he needed, I don't want to say a mommy, but in a way.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
needed that kind of support. And we were both working,
yeah,
and then he ran back to New York. I don't want to get into that, but
Yeah.
anyway, he wasn't a bad person. He just
no, he wasn't a
Yeah,
bad
an
person, he
issue.
just was an alcoholic at
and I
that
didn't know
time.
that.
No, it's like my husband was an alcoholic, and then when he got sober, he was the most wonderful human being
Yeah.
that there was. And but when he was drunk, woo! I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
you
hard.
say to yourself, "What did I do?" And you didn't do anything. But we don't understand the disease until we don't understand it.
Yeah.
Did you have another husband after that?
No, only 2 husbands, and then a lot. I got 5 dead ones.
Five
Not
dead.
husbands. No, I mean, oh my God.
5
Well,
days.
you know, I'm getting through life in various situations, maybe too many. But now I settled down, and the man who, speaking of my book, the man who edited my book is now the man in my life.
Ah,
And a solid citizen, a writer and an editor.
speaking of this, ladies and gentlemen, my brilliant, brilliant friend has not only, I'm leaning down here, we all have to do creative things at times. And I'm doing this, which I love doing because I get to talk to fabulous people,
Yeah.
like Louise Sorel, who has written a book. Everybody take a good look at the book. You can get the book at Amazon, and it's about your life, is it not?
It is. It's poems. It's about dogs, obviously. It's a journal. I journaled for many, many years, and then I kind of put it all together. And it is about childhood. It's about some theater experiences, and yeah.
It's a beautiful picture of her. I think it's a wonderful picture. And is this the current
It's
dog?
a happy picture,
Is
isn't
there
it?
a current dog? Is this the current?
No, I've had 9 dogs.
Aww.
So that was a Wheaton Terrier that I had.
They're all the best. Are they all white?
No.
Oh no, you had all your dogs were not.
No, the first dog I had, Herbie got me, and I used to say he had Herbie's. She had Herbie's nose in my eyes. She was a mutt, but the most enchanting. We called her Electra, and she was a kind of tan mix, non-descriptive kind of dog that just, God, my heart. You know,
Did he get it at a place or?
he got it at the ASPCA.
Uh-huh.
And brought her home. And then from then on, there was always a dog. Many dogs, many escaped. I can't be without.
It's interesting because my sister's like that's, and I had my mother's dog who I had to put down, and I said, I'll never get another dog.
so
I'm never
hard.
going to do it.
So
And then 5 years later, I said, I think I'm going to get a little dog. And I got Vipta, who has kept me in shape because I have to walk her at
Yeah.
least an hour every day.
good.
And she's wonderful. But she also snores during all of the videos, so whatever you
That's
do.
all right. That's okay.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
At any rate, now, I want to just, we've gotten through all the men.
Not really.
Oh, there are more of them. But Louise was always the lady in my class that I thought, oh, she's so beautiful. I just, and beauty goes a long way. It really does. If you also have talent, it's extraordinary. And she had both. So that's why this history of wonderful things happening to her, it's just great to hear. Because who was your father? You said he was a producer.
My father was a Hollywood producer, first at Republic and then at Universal. And I have to say, he made maybe historically, one of the worst movies ever made on the planet.
Is he still alive?
No. But he made a picture called Prehistoric Women. In this picture is my mother, who is beautiful, doing a sort of war dance around a campfire, only to notice that there were blondes, fully made up, by the way, prehistoric women, dancing around a campfire in a Martha Graham-esque kind of thing. And I was in the movie. There's a picture of me in the book, in a, what do you call it, sort of a thong, a leather thong. And there was what they called a prehistoric man, who, it's in the book, who was about an 8-footer or 9-footer from, I think he was from cold country, somewhere in the Arctic. And a picture of me looking up at him. And and I put in the book, my first date. I mean, it was so unbelievable. This was the worst movie ever made. And then he topped it with another one called Unknown Island, where there were dinosaurs and tyrannosauruses.
This was before they did that. Before they had the Tyrannosaurus and the big ones that what's his name used to do that did.
Yeah, no, this was well, I was about 5 or 6 years old, and I was we had a 2-story house, this old Spanish house in the valley, and I looked out a window and I saw a monster in the backyard.
How did he fix it? How did he make them?
Well, it was Republic, and they decided to use our backyard as you know, it was cheaper to use our yard. So there was a dinosaur and a Tyrannosaurus.
Excuse me.
These two in the backyard. And I was like 4 or 5 years old. I went screaming downstairs to the kitchen. This is the God's truth. And I screamed at my mother, "What is that?" What, with a little voice. She said, "Oh, darling, take this up to your father." And it was a bowl of blood. I'm not making this up. And I said, I don't know what I said. I was too young to understand anything going on. So I went out there with this bowl of blood, for a prop. And my father said, "Don't be scared. We're going to show you how this dinosaur works." He goes over and opens the door, the stomach of the dinosaur, because there's a little door. And a little person,
Midget.
gets in. They close the door. This is a child watching this. Closes the door, and then the dinosaur starts moving.
Oh
This is how they're calming me down. That was my childhood.
my God. Oh my God.
That was my
But you
father.
learned about filming that way. Go out to the dinosaurs and
Oh,
give them some
please.
blood. That is so
That
funny.
was part of my childhood.
Oh my God.
Very somewhat disturbing childhood.
Different. It was different,
Different.
and wonderful. What we all came from is so extraordinary because people hear what we came from. I have friends of mine who said, "You really should write a book about your family." I said, "I did a 1-person show. That's enough. I'm not going to have to tell about how wonderful they were anymore. You have done this. You're going to tell this story. It's wonderful." Oh, I didn't want to forget. Martha Graham. You said how she hit the boys. Well, I studied with Martha Graham at Connecticut College before she came to the neighborhood playhouse. And she saw that this was somebody that she was going to kill. I don't know. At any rate, there was this wonderful, you start at the top, you go down, you go into a fall and you're holding yourself really tight. At that point, she starts talking to the class. And she says, "Now you have to hold yourself in here." And I thought, I'm not going to fall down. I am going to hold myself. She's not going to see me fall. I want to tell you, she did all sorts of things to people. It was so funny. But we had an experience with her. You remember when she said to the boys, do the port de bras, "I am Martha." And the boys were like, oh. It was so funny. I mean, we had
Fabulous. I just, in that storyline, I took a fall after I saw the movie what was it? Requiem for a Fall.
Heavyweight?
Something for a Fall. It was just out. A movie, not Requiem for a Fall. Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah.
It was out last summer, and I was in Cape Cod in Chatham, and we went to see this movie, Anatomy of a Fall, with my friend Francesca. And then we got in the car, we were driving home, and we stopped at a gas station, which had a place where you could buy things inside the gas station. So we stopped there, and I got out, and there was a cement sort of step, long flat step, and I went flat.
Oh my God.
I was so embarrassed, but the first thing that came out of my mouth is, "Where's Martha when I need her?" I was so mortified because I cut my head open right here.
Oh no.
And I was so embarrassed, but that's the way I cover, is some kind of ridiculous joke. And it's like, "Where's Martha when I need her?" Because she taught us to fall.
Oh, she did that whole thing. Oh my God. And she was frightening because when I went to Connecticut College, she would sneak around the class. And I'm doing a plie, and she sneaks behind me. She calls her demonstrator over, and she pushes, I don't know what happened. I just said, do not move, just let her do what she's doing. She put her finger marks in my God, they were something else. But they were larger than life human beings. They were unbelievable.
We were lucky. I mean, I think.
We were very lucky, yeah. Like Louis Horst, who used to say, the fat one in the red leotard.
God.
Oh, it was, and now, I shouldn't say this, but
What?
I think we had the time, the neighborhood playhouse was even better before us, when Sandy was there, I
yeah,
think.
I missed him, yes.
Yeah, and then I went and found him at the Musical Theater Academy, and he was fascinating, but the best teacher I think I ever had was, who studied with him, went out of my mind, it's okay. But it was wonderful, and it was, we didn't realize we had the people who were larger than life, and that was the best experience,
It was.
I thought.
Yeah.
And now I feel that there's an awful lot of, what would you call it? Everybody's the same. We were not the same. None of us were the same.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's more of that. Anyway, we don't need to go into the sad parts of it, ladies and gentlemen. I just want you to do me a very good favor. And I want you to buy this book. And I also want you to support conversations with colleagues. I'm supposed to say that every time, and I forget that I'm supposed to say, if you're interested, sign up for whatever you're supposed to do. I think you're supposed to become a member or something. But if you love these things, and I think it's so wonderful for us to be able to have the opportunity of talking to such wonderful people like Louise Sorel, and to hear the stories of what life was like and is like now that she writes a book. It's so fabulous. So I thank you for watching, and I thank Louise for being part of this fantastic, fun day.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Wonderful. I love it.
I do too. It was really fun.